everybody. It is birthday week celebrations continuing. Unfortunately I didn't record the first couple of days, but I will kind of recap them for you. On Saturday, Scott and I had a really fun wine tasting with my dad. He set up a huge charcuterie board. I was actually across 2 tables, and we did some sampling of some different reds and whites and found a few things that we really enjoyed, which was really fun. On Sunday, Scott and I went for dinner with Beck in Boston, and if you guys have been here for any length of time, you know that Boston's my best friend and Chris is one of Scott's best friends. They're married. I work with Boston, but I've not really seen her much in the last few months, given that we were working from home. Scott has not seen her in nearly a year, so she is currently pregnant, and our little bundle of baby girl Joy is due at the end of August, so it was really lovely having dinner with them. And ended up going back to their place because we're all fully vaxxed, and ended up accidentally spending like 3 hours there because it wasn't intended, but it was fantastic. And then on Monday and Tuesday we got to meet the new puppy of the family, Cooch. He is so cute. You may have seen him on my Instagram. He is a Norwegian Elkhound, similar to Buddy, or same as Buddy, but a puppy, and he is adorable. So we are currently heading up to the cottage and have just been greeted by some rain. Not sure how I feel about that, but that's okay. It's okay. So today is Wednesday, June 30th. Tomorrow is my birthday. We are calling it Dirty 30 Thursday.
Incoming call from Ding.
So we got wildly cut off because one of Scott's sisters called and it came through the car. So I'm not sure if you would have heard that. But we are now up at the cottage, and it was a good thing that we got here when we did, because Scott's dad was going out for his second vaccine and his truck wouldn't start. So he's currently taking the Jeep into his appointment. So we had great timing. And yeah, the rain kind of stopped. It just kind of overcast right now, which is fine. Scott is on a work call at the moment, and I'm just chilling. That's the one thing that I always have a hard time with when I first finish work for the summer, is like decompressing from the year and like going through like the wave of things that occur post-teaching and post-pandemic teaching. So I'm going to unwind a little bit. I think I'm just gonna do some stuff on my iPad and work on my bullet journal, because I've been severely neglecting it recently. I've just not bothered whatsoever. So I'm gonna fiddle with that and then think about indie spread for July. And I have a bunch of books. I got books on books on books, because I was like, well, we're gonna be here for about 5 days, give or take. So I thought I would have a few different options for reads. One book my dad wants me to read, one kind of entertainment book, and then a couple books that are more directed to school-ish, because we're trying to have more inclusivity in our teachings all the way around, BIPOC, all that kind of stuff, LGBTQ. So I have a couple books I got from the library that are like short stories from a BIPOC perspective. So enjoying them so far, and we'll just kind of peruse those over the next couple of days. Current view, but happy nonetheless. So I have no idea what the single's like. So we just went and did a food shop for tomorrow and an LCBO run. I got to use one of the gift cards from one of my students. So thank you, shout out to them. Just getting some gas, then heading back to the cottage. Actually, it's quite chilly at the moment. It's very chilly, 22. So I'm very grateful at the last second before leaving I grabbed my little light coat. But it's weird because like I have to keep putting my sunglasses on, but like it's not, to everyone else it wouldn't be bright enough for sunglasses, but for me I'm like, it burns. Also, I have the highlight of my life at LCBO. I might just share it on my Instagram story, but someone tried to be snarky and an LCBO attendant was just not having it, and like, you know when you sarcastically like bow like, oh, your highness, yes, your highness. So she did that behind a customer's back who was being an absolute twit to her, and I just about died of laughter. And there was like 3 or 4 customers that all saw it, and we just were cracking up. And the attendant was quite hilarious about it. But yeah, that will never leave me. I loved it. And yeah, we're just kind of gonna chill afternoon. Scott has officially decided he's done work. We obviously have tomorrow off. He took Friday off as a holiday. So hoping that the weather gets a little bit more sunny. I know it's not supposed to be like ghastly hot, which is also nice because it's been a scorcher over the last week or so. But I would like a little bit more sun because this is kind of not doing it for me. But I will not. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm here, I'm happy. And yeah, I don't know if we're really doing much else, and we're gonna watch Loki later when Rob finishes work, because usually Scott and I watch it at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, but we said because we knew you were coming up, we were waiting. Kate waited, so Kate will watch it with us. Unfortunately, Scott's youngest sister is working tomorrow and I think over the weekend, so she's not coming up, and then his other sister and her husband will be joining us on Friday, because we're all double vaxxed. Rob actually went for his second vaccine earlier today, and then Scott's mom got it a few days ago, so we're all feeling good. So hopefully he doesn't have any after effects, because he was AstraZeneca the first time and Moderna the second time, so we'll see. Good morning! Happy birthday to me! Scott is currently on the, I'm allowed. Scott is currently on birthday breakfast for me, while Kate and Rob go and walk Coda. So Scott had asked me what food I wanted for my birthday, and initially he was asking about dinner, and I could not for the life of me think of what I wanted for dinner. So then I came up with lunch, and I came up with breakfast, and then eventually came up with dinner. So the menu for today is waffles for breakfast with custard. I think you also got whipped cream and then some fruits. We have some strawberries and blackberries. And then for lunch, we are doing gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, because Scott makes a bomb diggity grilled cheese, and we like to elevate them. So we're gonna end up cutting them into like the triangles. So we're gonna make a few sandwiches, and then everyone can kind of pick and choose the different flavors, because we have so much cheese. I actually got to bring all the cheese up that Dad gave us after our wine and cheese tasting over the weekend, because there was no way the two of us were gonna get through all of that. And then he didn't give me cream of Havarti, you are correct. He selfishly kept that for himself. He's like, this is too good, I can't give it to you. We could have picked that up, actually, at Zayre's yesterday. But alas, it's all closed now. Oh, we do have brie. Make up for that. Yeah, and then dinner tonight is going to be a Southwest chicken bowl that we really enjoy. But with a twist, we're going to make it with coconut rice this time, which is so good. So the day is not looking overly grand at the moment. It's not miserable. It's not miserable, but it's a little bit on the gloomier side. Yeah, so the weather doesn't look overly enthusiastic yet. But Scott was just saying that we were supposed to get rain. We were and we weren't, we were and we weren't. We are, but it's only a little bit. It's a blip. What did you call it? A monoblip? A monoblip of rain. So I wasn't hoping to have a shower, but I know we're going to be playing volleyball. We're probably going to end up jumping in the lake or in the hot tub, so I don't think there's really a point. Oh, it's not on at all? Alright, well, the point is I might get wet, so I don't know if I'm going to bother showering, but maybe. But yeah, I will check in a bit. So I feel like Scott got this for me leading up to my birthday last year. And it's the Lego Harry Potter on Switch, and it's year 1 to 4, and it's both games basically, so they're split up into years. And I don't often play the Switch. I don't often really play video games much. I just spend time on YouTube. But when I was a kid, I used to play, I had an Xbox and a PlayStation, and I loved them. And I did play a lot more, but unfortunately, you guys probably would never know this, but when I was in grade 7, my mom's house got robbed. And we had just moved. She'd moved us in, I want to say within the 2 weeks that we got robbed. We actually know who it was, but we can never prove it, so that's kind of annoying. But they took my gaming systems, so I never got any more after that. So I never really gamed. So I think had I never lost those, I'd probably be a little bit more of a gamer, but I'm basically married to like Game-O Supremo. So it rubs off occasionally. So a number of years ago, he bought me the Crash Bandicoot trio, and I'd only ever played the first Crash Bandicoot. I don't even know if I ever even beat the game, because I never really cared that much. Like, I really loved it, but I didn't like obsess about finishing it. But yeah, I played a little bit of the Harry Potter yesterday, and kind of like, I'll play today. So the day has not improved too much. But yeah, just gonna kind of hang out and play with this. Our friend Jeff, who is also now fully vaccinated and also shares the same birthday as me, for those of you who wouldn't know, he's gonna come up. He's not been up to the cottage for like 2 years, just with obviously the pandemic from last year, and then the year before we were getting ready for Scott's sister's wedding, so he didn't really get to come up much then because we were doing a lot of work at the cottage. So it's been a while since he's been here, so we're gonna play some volleyball later and kind of just chill, even though I wish there was a little bit more sun. It's a little bit chilly. It's a little bit chilly. And then maybe I'll do an insert here talking about it, because I don't want to talk about it now, just because I won't be able to give it my full brain power, but I'm sure if you're Canadian, you will notice my attire not being red and white. For my American friends, I'm not sure how much of this has kind of like infiltrated your news, but a lot of people are canceling or just not celebrating Canada Day this year, which is July 1st. And for me, obviously, it's July 1st is my birthday as well as Canada Day, so they've always kind of been very much intertwined and linked. I've always been that red-white baby, always wearing all that red and white Canada Day stuff, but this year I'm not. I'm wearing my Every Child Matters shirt, and unfortunately I've had to wear this more than once. Usually this is a one-day-a-year shirt for work, but with everything happening, it's not been. So I will insert a clip here when I'm back home sharing a little bit more specifics about this, and I'll leave it at that for now. But I'm going to get back to Harry Potter. Sitting down to kind of give a little bit more information about Every Child Matters and Orange Shirt Day and what that is, especially for my American friends who might not have any idea what I'm talking about. So I will backtrack and state that September 30th was known and has been known for many years as Orange Shirt Day. And this year, because of all of the unmarked graves that have been found and all of the children's bodies that have been found over the last 2.5 months almost, it has now been made a holiday. I know that sounds kind of weird because you're like, oh, holidays, celebrations, but like the Day of Remembrance, basically. And now its title is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and it is a statutory holiday. So my school over the last couple of years has had our Orange Shirt Day, and 2 years ago we all got the shirt, and the shirt design changes every year. They had different Indigenous artists create a design for it, and this is one from 2 years ago, so all the staff got this. The children were able to order from it as well, and then this past year with everything going on, I don't know if they sold them the same way that they have in the past, but I enjoy all the different designs for the shirt. So as I mentioned a couple months ago now, I believe it was the end of May, we as a nation discovered that there were unmarked graves out in Kamloops, British Columbia, near a residential school. I'm pretty sure my American friends know about residential schools. Maybe not in the same context as Canadians, but for many years, the government tried to assimilate First Nations children. Some of them were in day schools, some of them were in residential schools where they were literally plucked from their family, had no choice. Parents could go to jail, they could be fined. There was all these different consequences for parents who would not relinquish their children to the government or to the Indian officer. There's still the Indian Act. We don't use the word Indian in Canada anymore. Well, some people still are okay with it, but for the most part we say First Nations. So the children, unfortunately not all of them got to come home, and families didn't know why or what happened. In some cases, in most cases, I think there's no documentation about it, and it was a ground survey that found the 215 bodies. And of course, First Nations communities have known this forever. They knew that certain people didn't come home. And so of course, and rightfully so, many wanted to have all of the sites across the country. There were well over 100 schools across the country. They want them searched. They want the grounds searched. And and they've done that. Not all of them, obviously all of them, there's only been a handful, but unfortunately with each school the number increased. So this year, a lot of First Nations communities, rightfully so, didn't want to celebrate Canada Day, because to them this isn't Canada, this was their land far before Europeans showed up and claimed it as their own and discovered this land, which they didn't discover because people were already here, and if somebody's already there, you're not discovering anything. But I digress. So there was a movement. Some people wanted to cancel Canada Day, some people just weren't going to observe it, or in standing with the First Nations communities, wore their orange shirts, or any orange that you might already have. And so for me, the hardest thing was that it's my birthday. And not in a sense like, oh, it's all about me, but it's like my brain was like, do I celebrate my birthday because of the fact that I wanted to wear the shirt and, you know, stand for that? And I remember I reached out to, or I'd shared about that kind of conundrum on my Instagram and tagged a group that I was helping to fundraise money for my birthday, the birthday fundraiser online. And I made a comment about how I was torn about, you know, celebrating. Because usually, I think I mentioned in my earlier clip, like, I'm a red and white kid. Like, I would always be decked out in my red and white, my flags, maple leaves, all that stuff. It was very fun for me. So it was very weird to not have that. And they responded saying, no, definitely celebrate your birthday, just don't celebrate Canada. But I was like, I can do that. And that's what I did. We did go down to the dock, and initially I wasn't going to, because fireworks again end up, like, that's almost like the peak celebration of Canada Day. It's always known for fireworks. So I was very torn about whether I was gonna enjoy any fireworks. So I went down to the dock. There were maybe one or two places across the lake that had some fireworks going off, and not for very long. And when we realized that the other beach wasn't doing theirs, we went inside and then moved on and forgot all about it. So I said that was probably the hardest part of not celebrating Canada Day, was like not enjoying those fireworks, or like not wanting myself to enjoy the fireworks. I will leave information and links below for the Indian Residential School survivor information. If you are looking to donate any money, I will leave that down below. And I definitely implore you, especially my Canadians, to learn more. I genuinely can't tell you when I started learning about residential schools. I've been like racking my brain trying to figure out, when did I learn about that? Like, was that even in my curriculum when I was a student? I don't know. So I've been listening to some podcasts, and the one that I was really enjoying from the CBC was A Tale of Our Twisted History, I believe is what it's called. And again, I'll link that down below. And it's decolonizing specific words, and it's fascinating. They're only on season 1. I believe they come out on Mondays. So it's very fascinating to listen to. So I highly recommend, even for your own education, to see how words that we use on a daily basis in some cases have a much deeper history and mean different things to different people. I will leave it there, because this has added, I'm sure, about 10 minutes of content to the vlog, so I apologize for that, but it's obviously an important message to share. And back to cottage. So our volleyball just got rained out. We heard this huge thunder roll. So we walked over to Bubba's, which is Scott's grandfather, sat on his front porch to see if we could see it, and all of a sudden we could see this wall of rain. So we barely got home before it started raining. Like, we are wet. And as you just saw, they decided to jump in the lake. I did not. morning. It is Saturday. I thought it was Sunday for a second. It's not. It's Saturday. Didn't really film much yesterday. Scott's eldest sister and her husband came up, and we've not seen them since Christmas. It was very strange having dinner with everybody. It was very enjoyable. And then this morning, Scott and I are going to go meet his mom and play pickleball. We've been hearing a lot about this pickleball. We've yet to be able to play the pickleball, so we are now going to play pickleball.
It's when you hit a pickle back and forth until it turns into a ball.
Yeah. So it rained a little bit this morning, a little bit damp, but I think the court should be okay. Wearing my England jersey because England's playing today. We're gonna hope for the best. Yeah. He's so cute.
I'm so cute.
He's so cute. Okay, so we just played over an hour of pickleball, and I love it. I love it. And we actually almost won. Not quite, but almost. I think we were only down like 2 points in the end. We just played a quick game till like 11 after playing and trying to figure out the rules and whatnot, but it was very fun. I'm actually sweating, which is not something I often do, but I'm also not wearing the right shoes for it, and it's getting really muggy, so that's that. But we have, like, Trish has the whole set, so we're gonna also play in the city, which would be nice, finding a pickleball court. But it's basically like a mix between tennis and badminton. So it was good. I'm a little out of breath. Haven't had breakfast yet. Only had one cup of tea before we came out. So I need some tea and I need some brekkie. So I'm hoping that everyone else is just kind of sauntering up and getting awake because Tori was going to make really cool waffles. They're like, it's an industrial waffle iron, but it's not like circle or square. It's like a banana one. It's shaped kind of like a banana. So hopefully we haven't missed those. But yeah, time for a little rest.
He's like, okay, I'm in. Now give me the pedal. Or the paddle. He doesn't look pleased.
He doesn't look too sure of himself.
It's because he's not fully in. He's trying to like...
He's supposed to sit in the back, Caitlin.
Like, how do I jump back to the dock?
How does she get in?
Let me have Cisco in his shirt.
Jump, Cisco.
He's like, but I want out.
So the closer this gets, I'm good.
Take before
Now,
he capsizes it.
Yeah, if that happens, they're kind of screwed. So stay close to shore.
Because if he flips it, you're toast.
Come on, Cisco! He's a good boy.
Cisco's usually pretty good, but he doesn't shake beside us.
Oh yeah.
Usually he likes to take, like, get out, take a few steps, shake, come see us, go past us, shake.
Let me check the garbage.
3.
So what, noon is it?
Yeah,
You
but
didn't care about that one.
no, it's the only one like I didn't actually care about.
Oh, I should probably put this up.
Sorry, you only need 4 cups?
Yes.
Yep, 4.
Do you have any cherries left?
Probably. I don't know. We have a whole lot of cherries left.
Good morning. It is Sunday morning. It is 9:15. We are on the road. We are heading to Spirit Tree to meet up with Beck in Boston for a 11:30 reservation. We're gonna get there a little earlier, but there's no point in us going home and then going up. I guess it's a waste of time and gas. So I'm sure we'll find something to do. We'll probably play Switch in the car until then. But it's a little bit gloomy today. It was really foggy this morning. But I don't know if the weather's, I think the weather's supposed to be really nice today, isn't it? Yeah, it's supposed to be gorgeous, but well, whatevs. We've been up here for 5 days now, and it's time for me to go home. I want to be on the couch, I want to chill and relax, and that is the plan. I'm sure I'll do some cleaning this week, but today is going to be a do nothing, read a book, and relax. As usual, we had a fantastic time at Spirit Tree. They've really done a good job at the outdoor dining aspect. and we caught up with Beck in Boston, and then just enjoyed the glorious weather and drive home to do absolutely nothing. So I will see you guys in my next video.